Hi, Eclectic Crafter here. And today we're going to test the laminated fabric. My husband decided he wanted a cat sign for our steel door that had a magnet in it, like my dishwasher pouch. So I made this up. Newt is out, and this is the first time I printed from Brilliance, and that's weird. But hopefully it'll stitch out correctly. So one side's going to say Newt is in, and one side will say Newt is out. And this is my setup, and I've got it, I think, all correctly. And we're going to get you set up so you can watch it sew. Okay, we're trying a whole new angle this time. Hopefully I won't bash the camera, because it is right next to my arm. Okay, so this stitch out is done. I need to trim up my jumps. But it looks like I'm trying to create an in the hoop design for this instead of having to switch out my machine. So that is the outline of the stitch, and I didn't use thread because it's going to show up real well on all this. See, it shows up on the back too. So I think this is, it looks like it's not coming apart. So even with that, all that satin stitching, this definitely, I used Brilliance for it, which is new to me. I always used PED, which is Brother Programs. So I did the words on Brilliance, and I merged in the cat, but it is way too thin. I'll thicken that, and it doesn't meet right there. This came out fine. This was a purchased BX file, but this was just their block, and that's comes with the Brilliance, and I just left it at the default setting. So the O came out great. The bottom of the U, perfect. The T going across the center, it's not bad. Could be a little denser. But that is just awful. I'll just redo it in Pez. And then bring it into Embrilliance to convert. I think that'll be my safest bet. Since I already know the other program. And I don't know this one. But, yeah, I used a Tearaway. And this didn't need to be done with vinyl. It could be washed if it wasn't. So that wouldn't have been a big deal, and the others I'll probably make up. But that's cool. Yeah, it sewed. It's still holding. And that's just laminate. Iron onto some fabric. Well, I'm going to go ahead and finish this up. And I will be back at the end. Hello, I'm back. All right, it's all done. I'll tell you, the laminating, yes, it worked, but don't do it on something you're turning inside out. Duh. Didn't even think about that, so it's all crinkled up. I actually broke through it in some spots, but the stitching never tore through it. I mean, it didn't tear it apart. Sorry, I'm holding this in my hand. So, this, now I've got Embrilliance, but I've never made my pattern actually in Embrilliance. I've kind of like merged them together and converted them because I don't use Brother embroidery machine anymore. I use a Pfaff, and it takes a VP3. The pet I've got, the PE Design, I've got 6, and I've got 10. And for some reason, the Pfaff will read it if I make it in 6, but not if I make it in 10. 10 will backtrack to 8 to save it, but not to 6. It's just weird. Anyhow, so I had purchased the Embrilliance mostly for converting for any designs that I make in the new ped. But I thought, well, I bought some fonts for it. I'm going to give it a shot. This one, beautiful. This little bitty one. These are the built-in. And I'll tell you what, look at this. It didn't even, it's just hanging. I don't know if that's my machine or if it's the way it was made. I will try it again. I'll check the settings. Maybe my machine needs to be calibrated. But now look at this. It's just so thin and loose. That is not my machine. So I think I'm going to redo the design. This is a purchased one that I had purchased years ago. I did not make the cat face. That I just added in it and I mirrored it for that. And I think I'll redo the design in ped and stitch it out from that. For now, my husband has the sign he asked. It's just not as pretty as it will be when I'm done. And thank you for joining me one more time. And here's our result on the laminating fabric also. It worked. It stayed through stitching. Just can't use it on something you're turning inside out unless it's, a big opening. This is only open enough to slip the magnet in. Probably wouldn't have crinkled if I'd left it the whole top open, or not crinkled as much. Well, you have a good one, and bye-bye.